Baseball is
Rest
dead.
in peace.
No Dallas. No Jay Hay. It's just me, Joseph. Jake's in the house. It's gonna be. I don't know where. I have high hopes for this episode. I feel like people might look at it and be like, "No Dallas, no Jay Hay. Like, where are we gonna get our wisdom and knowledge and A's updates from?" Well, we don't worry about it. Like, we will provide as much A's content as we can. I don't know that we're going to be able to provide the statistical analysis that Jay Hay brings to the table. I did. Maybe we can.
People don't realize I hold back a lot on the stats. I don't want to, step on anybody's toes. I hold back. Maybe I'll step into Jay Hay's role and I'll wallet pip his ass. Who knows?
Gimmick infringement. I threw a tweet out there and I said, you know what? No Dallas, no Jay Hay. Just me and Joseph. Why don't you sauce us some questions? And I've looked at a couple. It looks like we've got like a little over 50 questions. Whatever. It's been up for an hour. So we can pile through some of that. But before we do any of that, there was a no-hitter last night, Joseph.
Yeah.
Your Phils.
Yeah, man. Just looking back. Hey, I'm having flashbacks to 22. I think this might be the year.
Wow.
My biggest regret is I don't have my rally towel on me, man.
Yeah, where the fuck's the rally towel?
And I'm out of town.
I'm out of town.
I usually travel with it, but man, one of those things, you forget it, and it's been a tough.
Do you only have one rally towel?
I have two.
Two rally towels.
Yeah.
Why don't you have three? Didn't we go to 3 games?
I might have given one away. Something.
Okay.
Someone probably got stolen by a scumbag. I don't know, but I have 2 rally towels.
2 rally towels. You donated one to a fellow. Are they Philadelphians?
I believe, you know what it is, and I will say this: City of Brotherly Love. Yes, I believe at one of the games I donated my towel to one of those scumbag Philly fans who were talking shit to me. I said, "You don't have a towel, bro. Take one."
Oh, you think that you're a Phils fan, bro? You don't even have a rally towel. Damn.
Hey, lucky for you, I got 3, motherfucker. Who's the real Phillies fan?
I really enjoyed Philly. Go Phils, go Birds. Big Phils guy. But last night, Michael Lorenzen throws a no-hitter. And you know what? I know that Jay Hay's not on the podcast today. He's doing some family shit, which is super lame. But he owes Michael Lorenzen an apology. So I'm just gonna get him on really quick. He does.
He definitely does.
He's been shitting on Michael Lorenzen for months. Dude goes out there, throws a no-hitter. It's super sentimental. Is he ducking us right now?
Yeah, didn't he say he should walk to the All-Star game because he's that shitty at pitching?
Yeah. Yeah, I think he said something like that. Wow. This is unbecoming of Justin Havens.
Mm-hmm.
This is embarrassing.
Please leave your message.
Oh, man. Bad look, Jay Hay.
Yeah, it's funny.
Look.
It's funny, too, because, Lorenzen, if you watched the game last night, they were showing his family in the crowd,
Yeah.
And he had a little daughter to take care of, and he actually brought his daughter to work so he could work. And, and we'll see, we'll see where Michael Lorenzen turned out. Do a freaking no-hitter. Jay Hay, nowhere to be found.
No. Do you think if Jay Hay cared, he would have brought his daughter to work today?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think people would have loved that. Let's get her takes.
Are you ever going to have kids, or probably not, because it's about the job first?
Yeah, when I retire, 75, 80.
Yeah. You're going to start having kids at 75?
It's prime time spot.
Yeah.
All the time to give attention. Teach them how to pick it.
Yeah.
Have a little first baseman.
You only want boys, or do you think you'd be a good girl dad?
I'll be a great girl dad. I mean, as long as they can pick it. That's all my thing. I always wanted a first baseman.
Mm-hmm. You've always wanted a first baseman.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Pujols, LaRoche.
Adam LaRoche. When I think about first baseman who can pick it, I always think Pujols and LaRoche.
Well, just talk about a guy who let his family get in the way of business, like LaRoche. Right. You know, that's a guy who really committed the cardinal sin. So it's the reason why he's not in the league anymore. And it's not because he's 52 years old. It's because he didn't wait till he was 70 to have kids.
Got it. That makes sense. Michael Lorenzen, no hit. Actually, by the way, this even like no hitter aside, this game was fucking awesome for the Phils. Like you've got Nick Castellanos hitting 2 bombs. Oh, here comes Justin Havens. Let's see. Justin Havens.
Hello.
Hello. You're on Baseball is Dead. It's a baseball podcast on the DraftKings network. I'm the host. My name is Jared Carabas. We also have Joseph here and Jake. We just happened to open up the show, starting our conversation about Michael Lorenzen. Are you familiar with the name?
I am vaguely, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So Michael Lorenzen last night, he was an all-star this year, pitching for the Detroit Tigers, and he was traded to the Philadelphia Phillies. Last night, went out and threw a no-hitter. We dug up some very disparaging comments that you made about Mr. Lorenzen. Is there anything that you'd like to add to the dialogue?
I would. I anticipated this moment, and I have a proposed statement that I'd like to read.
Okay, please.
I just apologize to Michael Lorenzen, who definitely would not have made the All-Star team if not for the every team rule, but who did indeed throw a no-hitter last night, Wednesday night, a month after the All-Star game for his new team, the Philadelphia Phillies. Of all the moments in the season, it was certainly one of them. Congrats and apologies to Michael.
Of all the moments, it was certainly one of them. That's the
of the top 75, 100, 200, 250 moments of the season. I would expect to find this on the list. Absolutely.
Did Michael Lorenzen ever do anything to you personally? Is there anything that there's some sort of like deep rooted issue there or anything like that?
No, the one tweet I actually do regret. I don't regret the All-Star game conversation because he just simply did not deserve to make the All-Star team, and we're all on the same page that he would not have if not for the rule that was in place. What I do regret is the tweet that said that I think it was following the Giolito trade or something like that the pitching market was over in terms of the trade market, and then Michael Lorenzen gets traded to the Phillies and has been undeniably productive for them. So that one, not great, but we all have a few misses. Tony Gwynn, Luis Arias, all the great bat to ball guys. They only batted, whatever it was, 330 or 340. So I'm humble enough to know that I'm not going to get all of them right, but I do apologize to Michael within the context of what I described, for sure.
For sure. He has made 2 starts for the Phils, 17 innings, just 2 earned runs, 10 strikeouts, which, whatever. But he's got a 1.06 ERA to start his Philadelphia Phillies career. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Family was in the crowd. Do you have any comments on that, Jay? Hey, he brought his kid to work. Castellanos hit 2 home runs last night. They were showing his kid at work, working. Did they show you up today with that? What's going on?
I think it's admirable that he was able to bring his kids to work for his no-hitter. I think the fact that I'm having to miss today because of my own child situation, I think all that reflects is the difference in difficulty between throwing a no-hitter against the Washington Nationals and podcasting on Baseball is Dead.
Yeah.
I think we all know which is more demanding, which is more challenging, and which, frankly, is the more impressive feat. So I don't want to we're not here to disparage the achievement at my expense. So I don't want to go too much further down that road, but I do think that's the takeaway there.
Yeah, no, you don't want to disparage it. You don't want to disparage it, but we have to come to agreement on the podcast that that Justin Havens is a better father than Nick Castellanos and a better father than Michael Lorenzen.
I have absolutely no problem with that conclusion. I think it's probably right.
Also, Weston Wilson hit a home run in his first Major League plate appearance, and his father was on the verge of tears seeing his son hit a home run in his first Major League plate appearance. That's just being a good dad. A lot of good parenting happening, but I think the common thread here is that the Weston family, the Castellanos family, the Lorenzen family, they all showed up. You know, they were all there at the end of the day. And Justin Havens, you technically showed up via phone. Yeah,
I mean, I don't know anything about Mr. Weston Williams, but I feel confident that I'm showing up to the same degree that Mr. Williams did and does. The Weston Williams standard, I think, is what we can refer to it as on the podcast. And I feel like I'm meeting that for sure by chiming in here, kind of Max style.
Yeah. I mean, you had to. I mean, out of all the Lorenzen slander, I think this does a lot for your character. It does a lot for the court of public opinion of your image, because there's no chance that Dallas is going to chime in. Every time that someone throws a no-hitter, he gets pissed. He's like, I only throw no-hitters. I'm the best no-hitter thrower in the history of Major League Baseball. He gets pissed every time that he gets bumped further and further down the list. So I did not expect to hear from him today.
No, of course not. I mean, everybody, even in Joey's video, Dallas, people love to refer to him as a character, right? A baseball character. But when it comes to real character between me and Dallas, I think we know who's going to answer that bell.
10 times out of 10, 1,000 times out of 1,000.
Thank you, brother.
Justin Havens, you're a great father. You're an admirable man. You're a role model. I look up to you, and I wish you the best of luck today as you go out and you continue being the great father that you are.
Thank you guys so much. I appreciate the phone call and the opportunity to kind of, kneel before Michael Lorenzen and ask for his forgiveness. And I wish you guys the best of luck on rounding out this podcast without two blabbermouths. So good luck with that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You have a great weekend.
You too, buddy. Bye-bye.
Bye, Justin. Justin Havens, everyone. One of the best to ever do it. I feel like, there's not a ton more to say about the Michael Lorenzen. Like we couldn't have had that segment without Jay Hay. I think that's fair to say. I did get a few, and this happens. I did get a few text messages last night from some casual baseball fan friends of mine who kind of all have the same sentiment. They're like, no hitters just don't do it for me anymore. It's not my take, but I'm not that far off from agreeing. Like, put it this way. I remember, what was it? Like Mark Burley, like some of these like earlier, like no hitters, when, I'm like in college, if you hear about it, you run to a TV to put on MLB Network, knowing that they're going to be locked in on that game. It's like, I want to be a part of history. Like, I want to see this no hitter. I mean, I was aware of the Michael Lorenzen no hitter, but with my 9 TV setup, did I move the Phillies game to the big TV? Like, did I swap them out? No. I mean, I was watching it. I was paying attention. But it wasn't something where I felt like how I used to when I was younger, of like, I need to, like, I'm going to remember this moment for the rest of my life. Like, no, I'm probably not. Like, it's cool. Like, there's no, like, I'm not trying to like take away from the accomplishment. Like, a no hitter is cool. Like, I think obviously if it were my team, like if Brian Bayo threw a no hitter, like I would be fucking stoked. But I think that that's really what the no hitter has become, especially like once you've seen so many, is that it's kind of just like, it's cool when it happens to you and your team, but like it doesn't have the same effect of like, I'm going to remember where I was during this no hitter for the rest of my life. Like, this is a core memory. Like, no, it's not, but it's still cool. It's still cool.
It is cool, but it is, yeah. I don't know if when that changed or if that's changed or that's always been the case, but like I mean, we just saw a no hitter last week. You know, Framber did it. I mean, how quickly
Yeah.
people forget. I think there's been like 4 this year.
We didn't even
Obviously,
really talk about it either.
yeah. It's really not. It is definitely cool, and if you're the guy doing it, like that will change. Like that's a sick thing to tell people. I do a no hitter.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I see that, and especially now you got MLB TV, and they have all the games. You'll see like the no hitter alert. Like how often are you actually switching over to that?
Hardly ever.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be honest, hardly ever. I mean, I'm always paying attention to see. I'm always paying attention to see like if a guy finishes it off. But yeah, like I'm going down the list here. Like some of these no hitters, like I don't even know if I remember some. Like combined no hitters don't even get me started. Combined no hitters like miss me with that. Tyler Gilbert.
What?
Tyler Gilbert threw a no hitter. August 14th, 2021. Did you know that?
I had no idea. What
For
team
the
is he on?
Arizona Diamondbacks.
Oh, yeah, that was like his first career start.
Was it?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like his first career start, he threw a no hitter. He had pitched for, I think, out of the bullpen. First career start, threw a no hitter.
Clay Buchholz threw a no hitter in his second career start.
There you go. But hey, we don't even remember this guy's name. Threw a no hitter in his first career start.
Alec Mills.
I remember
threw
that.
a no hitter in 2020. You remember that one?
Yeah, but another guy was like, "What? How?"
Let's see. I remember the Jake Arrieta no hitters. Hisashi Iwakuma. Do you remember that one?
No,
that was in 2015.
I'd never heard of that guy.
Chris Heston threw a no hitter. Do you remember that one?
No, I don't.
No, he threw a no hitter for the Giants in 2015. Can't believe you don't remember that one, dude.
No,
do you remember Henderson Alvarez's no hitter?
I missed that one. Yeah. I think I was like on a field trip that day. I remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, I missed that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't remember Irvin Santana throwing a no hitter. I obviously know who Irvin Santana is. Like the Red Sox tried to trade Manny Ramirez for Irvin Santana like 20 times, but Irvin Santana threw a no hitter in July of 2011.
Yeah, you need something more than just a no hitter to be remembered. I remember Max Scherzer throwing no hitters, because he got the guy leaned into it, and that should have been a perfect game. That was a crazy moment. If Shohei threw a no hitter, I would cream my pants. I'd watch every out. People would go crazy.
Did you know that Clayton Kershaw threw a no hitter?
When was that? I don't remember that.
Yeah, me neither. He threw one in 2014 against the Rockies. See, that's crazy. I did not know that. I remember Josh Beckett throwing a no hitter for the Dodgers because I was just like, what? I thought he was rinsed after the Red Sox traded him. And then it was like a whole thing when he threw a no hitter for the Dodgers. That was in 2014. Homer Bailey throwing 2 no hitters in a calendar year was pretty funny. I remember the Felix Hernandez perfect game. Obviously, that was crazy because it was right after that was back when like Dallas threw the 19th perfect game in Major League history, and then Felix Hernandez was just like, actually, I'm going to throw one too. Roy Halladay in the playoffs, like, come on, like everyone remember that's legendary shit. Matt Garza, I vaguely remember that one. The only reason why I remember Ubaldo Jimenez throwing a no hitter in 2010 was because he was on my fantasy team, and it was huge for me. So yeah.
For some reason, I remember that being a big. That was right next to Dallas's too, wasn't it?
Or it was probably 3 weeks before it.
Yeah, well, that was that was like the year of the pitcher.
Yeah,
and I remember thinking like, oh, Ubaldo throws cool.
Oh, it was stirrups. It wasn't Felix, it was Halladay. Yeah, Dallas threw his perfect game on May 9th, and Roy Halladay threw a perfect game on May 29th. So, yeah, he had 3 weeks where he was the reigning defending perfect game champ. Yeah. Justin Verlander's got like 10.
And another, you want to hear a crazy stat? I don't know if this came across your computer.
Mm-hmm.
But Michael Lorenzen
went for that word. Your fucking computer.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess the word was your desk. That was your desk. He went to Fullerton. He went to high school. He went to a high school. Okay, this high school. Who cares the name of the high school? They've had 4 players from this high school become major league pitchers. Only 4. All four of them have thrown a no-hitter.
Oh, that's a good stat.
That's wild, right?
Every player who's become a big leaguer from Michael Lorenzen's high school went on to throw a no-hitter?
Yep.
What high school?
Fullerton Union High School.
From where though?
That's California. Fullerton, California. Walter Johnson, ring a bell?
Oh, Walter Johnson.
Yep, graduated in, I want to say, probably 1900.
Class of 08.
Yeah, class of 08. 1908. And also just Steve Busby and Mike Warren.
So a bunch of fucking Johnny Slapdicks.
Yep.
It's been a long time. Like, those guys have been dead for centuries.
Maybe. Yeah, 1985 was the last one. Mike Warren. Let's see if he's still alive.
Yeah, like those dudes were throwing no-hitters back when like it was 2 strikes for a strikeout.
He's still alive. We can get him on the pod. See what he's up to.
All right, yeah, call him Jake. Book fucking what's his name?
Mike Warren.
Mike Warren. Get Mike Warren on the podcast.
Oakland A's legend. Dallas probably knows this guy.
He probably does. Yeah, Dallas like knows like the most. Dallas tries to like glorify the most random fucking people. Like he'll just like have these like sentimental rants about people where it's like, sick, dude.
I never really got that either. Like I never understand like when someone will be like Max Fried, for example, like his favorite pitcher of all time is Sandy Koufax. And it's like, yeah, Sandy Koufax is a GOAT, he's a G, but it's like, why? Like you never,
never met him.
How can you even like Sandy Koufax so much? You never saw him pitch. Probably met him.
Sandy Koufax still alive.
He's still, dude. He looks like he's fucking 50 years old. That's what. When I found out Sandy Koufax was still alive, I shit my pants. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like you don't see him anywhere. And then I'm like, dude, this guy looks like he's 70.
I think the last time I saw Sandy Koufax was the 2018 World Series. I think they showed him on the big screen maybe when Walker Buehler got taken out of the game. Like Walker Buehler had like an electric start in the World Series, and when he came off the mound, they showed Sandy Koufax giving him a standing ovation. I was like, is that a Sandy Koufax impersonator? Like, what the fuck? Like, you think of Sandy Koufax, you think of like what, like the 1960s?
Yeah.
Not that people like, from the 1960s can't still be alive, but you just don't see the guy.
Yeah, and in his prime in the 1960s. Now he's kicking it. I'm telling you, he looks good as new. Respect to the man. That's what happens when
he looks early. Good as new.
Probably still pitch.
Yeah, we just shine him up real nice. Sandy Koufax, vintage Sandy Koufax in mint condition. Baseball fans, you could be winning every inning with the hottest offers in the game. DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered from the top of the first to the bottom of the ninth all season long. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 to score $150 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, all customers can take a shot at bigger payouts with DraftKings stepped-up same-game parlays. Open the DraftKings Sportsbook app, opt in, and place your parlay by combining 3 or more bets from the same game. Every additional leg gets you an extra boost up to 100%. Step up to the plate now with the DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the app, sign up with the promo code Jared, Jared. New customers can bet just $5 to score $150 in bonus bets instantly, only on the DraftKings Sportsbook with the promo code Jared. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In Massachusetts, call 800-327-5050 or visit gamblinghelplinema.org. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Kansas, call 1-800-522-4700. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, 21 plus in most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after insurance. Opt-in and 10-plus leg requirement for 100% boost. Eligibility, wagering, and deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/baseball terms. Did you know that we were having Bobby Witt Jr. on the podcast today, Joseph?
No. I don't remember being a part of that.
Yeah. Without further ado, here's our interview with Bobby Witt Jr. All right, we're here with Bobby Witt Jr. of the Kansas City Royals. I want to start off by saying congratulations. I don't know if you saw my tweet yesterday, but you've officially made it into my top 3 favorite players in the league.
Awesome. Thank you.
That's huge.
That's
big time. I mean, Nolan Arenado has had like a firm grasp on like that top 3 for like the last like 5-6 years, but you've cracked the top 3.
Awesome.
And another congratulations to you because you are one of one. You are the first player in Major League history to start off your career back-to-back seasons, 20 homers, 30 stolen bases. Does that even like register in your head? Like I've done something that no one else in this game has ever done?
I think the more and more it's kind of been talked about, and then it's an honor. Just anytime you get to be the first of something in this game, I think just thinking of it that way, it's truly just a blessing. It's just like my dad told me like this, just take it all in, just experience it, take it, and then just enjoy it. But also just keep getting better each and every day. Keep doing it and just keep trying to do that each and every year.
Did you know as you were closing in on it that no one else had ever done it? Or was it after you did it that they were like, oh, hey, by the way?
Yeah, it was kind of after I did it. Whenever I was going into my next at bat, I was looking for my bat and I was like, where's my bat? And I knew it was my 20th homer, but I didn't know it was something like that. So then I found our clubby. He had my bat and he goes, you might not want to use this bat anymore.
yeah. This one might be going to the Hall of Fame. So, I mean, going back, because I went to message you today, and the last time that I messaged you was, I think I was congratulating you on getting called up to the big leagues for the first time. So you've been on my radar since the 2019 draft. You get taken in the first round, 2nd overall, and going back to look at your high school numbers, senior year, you're hitting over 500. Like, You're a very humble guy. How do you manage that? Like, how do you go through your professional and amateur baseball career having so much success immediately and be like, yeah, no, I'm just Bobby. It is what it is.
I think it's more so motivation, just because of you do this at a young age or whatever, and you're on this paper to be the top, this guy, this, you're supposed to be this or whatever. And so it's just motivation, just try to kind of almost prove it right, I guess, and just keep working, keep preparing each and every year, each and every day, just to try to get better. And that's my ultimate goal, just to try to never stop at just one thing. Don't really set too many goals, because you just want to try to make the sky's the limit each and every year. And so just try to live that mantra and just take it day by day and not try to look too far ahead, not look in the past, and just enjoy every moment.
When you're hitting over 500, do you have like a 2-for-4 day and be like, I kind of sucked?
I don't really remember too much, like with the high school stuff. We were just trying to, my freshman, sophomore, and junior year, trying to win a state championship, fell short, and then the senior year, that was pretty much the goal.
Yeah.
And so that pretty much helped with everything, all the draft stuff, with the scouts in the stands, all that noise and everything. It just really, whenever I was just focusing on the team and everything, just trying to do my job, that's whenever I started playing well and just things started going well.
Everyone knows that you come from a line of Major League Baseball talent, but you're a position player. Pop's not the same. So who was your guy growing up where it's like, I'm sure your dad is your hero, but at the end of the day, you're a position player. So who was your guy that you were watching on TV being like, I want to be like that guy?
I grew up, well, oddly enough, Dustin Pedroia was my guy.
Okay.
That's why my Instagram handle, bwitter15, I always wore 15, and then Jeter was also my guy. So it's kind of funny growing up just with Red Sox, Yankees, kind of that stuff. And then I love watching Michael Young as well, just 3 guys that I kind of wanted to emulate my game around. And then that's why in high school and stuff, I wore 17, 15, and 2, Jeter, Pedroia. So then those are the 2 jerseys I have hanging above my bed, autographed. So those are kind of my guys that I watch. They're both high energy guys on the field and did things, I think, right off the field as well.
Have you ever met Pedroia?
Yes, I have. Yeah. First time we were out here. I can't remember how old I was. My dad represented him. He's a baseball agent. And so I think I was 8, and we were at I think local Mexican restaurant around here, and I didn't think I took a bite of my food. I was at the end of the table. He's at the end of the table. I was just staring at him across. I was just
So you met him as a kid?
Yes, yeah.
Have you met him as a big leaguer?
We kind of texted back and forth just a little bit whenever made my debut, and then I'll get a birthday text. So which is awesome. I see that, and it's incredible seeing that. So yeah.
So as a guy that is so dynamic in terms of speed, power, and being able to hit for average and all that, what aspect of your game are you most proud of? Because that's what you had to work the hardest at. Like I'm assuming, you're working hard in the gym and everything, but some of the speed, when you're talking about being one of the fastest, if not the fastest player in the game, that's God given. But what part of your game are you most proud of because you had to work the hardest at it?
I think it's just a little bit of everything, and then it comes down to the mental side as well. I think that's one of the guys that one of the things that a lot of guys I think either take for granted and they don't see. You playing 162 games. We're traveling around the whole United States, just playing each and every day, and just really just trying not to get caught up in the limelight and everything. Just go about your business, be prepared each and every day, and just have that same focus. But then also come to the field with the right mindset. But then also you have to be yourself off the field. That's why I kind of like to be, whenever I'm at home and everything, I'm Bobby, and then I kind of get on the bus, go to the field, then I'm Junior, and turn that on a little bit. And so that's kind of something that I've been just trying to flip the switch whenever, from being Bobby to Junior or whatever it is, and just trying to have that mentality. I think so. But also every part of the game, whether it's hitting, fielding, base running, all those things, I feel like you just always got to prepare. There's not really one thing that I feel like I'm satisfied with. I think there's got to keep working at all the tools.
Your dad has local roots. You grew up a Dustin Pedroia fan. If like making your, I guess, like Fenway debut last year, do you compartmentalize that? Like, are you able to come up here and be like, all right, like it's just another big league game and I need to focus? Or was part of you saying like, holy shit, like I'm playing at Fenway Park right now in the big leagues?
Definitely last year, just flying into Boston, getting to the hotel, and then
I saw you. I remember that.
Yeah.
I didn't get to talk to you, but I remember like I was on the other side and I was like, what's up?
Yeah, just showing up to the field, hitting BP. It was just like, I don't know really how to describe it. It was one of those moments where making your debut, getting to play at home in front of the fan, like in Texas and everything, and then playing here was, I think, one of the top things. I still say, what's your favorite road stadium? Fenway Park, because I grew up going to the games. Grandparents got to come out here. They live about 20 minutes away, and then just a lot of family, friends, and just in the stands. So it was super surreal, and I just, like we talked about, I grew up a Red Sox fan with my dad being from here, so it was awesome.
How many tickets did you have to bug your teammates for that series?
It was actually nice because my dad's or the family, they're all season ticket holders. So
okay,
they're all
too.
Red Sox fans, but it was cool seeing him with Royals gear on and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. How, the first time that you ever truly faced failure, when was it, and how do you think you handled it?
I think you face failure, whether it's I feel like in high school, I went through it too, just happened, just with losing games, whatever it was, not winning the state championship. But then in pro ball, it kind of hit you hard. And so it's like sometimes you feel like you want to change things. You have to, I got to do this, I got to do that. But then other times it's just, you just got to learn through the failure. You just got to go through it. And I think that was the best thing for me with last year. Starting the year wasn't great to start the year and whatever that last year. And then this year, same thing. Didn't start out great, few months, and then started getting things. And I think it's just really just settling in, just being myself, preparing, having a good routine, and then just trying to be ready for each and every day and just try to do my job to help the team.
When you're playing high school ball, you talk about playing like the state championship, you played Team USA, like you've played in highly competitive situations. Right now, Kansas City in a little bit of a rebuild right now. How do you stay focused when you look up at the standings and you're like, man, like we're not in it right now. Like I'm not playing for a division title right now, and that's frustrating. But how do you stay focused on your individual game when that really has to be the focus? Yeah,
it's kind of how I said earlier. Just try to just stay where you're at today. Not worried about yesterday, not worried about tomorrow. Just focus on what can I do today to get myself better, help the team win today, and not really trying to. I'm not a big guy looking at stats, not looking at standings, nothing really. Just let those things play out, and whatever happens. You just got to control what you control. Try to be as worry-free as possible and just enjoy each and every moment. And so that's kind of how I'm trying to just go about it. And then as the wins stack up, they stack up, and just keep rolling.
When your career is over, what do you hope your teammates say about you?
I think guys they remember you sometimes as stats, but I just try to be the best teammate as possible. Just try to try to impact people's lives, whether it's on the field or off the field. Just talk to them about the game, talk to them about everything, get to know their family, whatever it is. Just try to be, because this game will, when I get done playing, it'll still be going on, and it won't even have anything to remember about it. Just me playing. So it's just, the game goes on. Like, you're just looking at the scoreboard. This stadium's been up since 1912, and the game's just all the players that's gone through, and just trying to be remembered as just a great teammate, and just try to guy that go out there and just always hustling and just try to be the best I can.
I think one of the things that baseball fans forget about guys like you, drafted in 19, you didn't have a minor league season in 2020. You were in the opening day lineup by 2022. Do you feel like you are ready? And what do you remember most about opening day? This is my first opening day, and I'm in the big leagues right now.
Yeah, it's just, I think the biggest you remember is just that call you get when we were in Arizona into the manager's office, and then just him telling you you officially made the roster. That just kind of brings chills to me right now. Just that, and then getting to call my parents, girlfriend, everyone, and just say you made the team. That's something that I hope every person who plays baseball gets to experience that, because that's literally once in a lifetime experience. So that, and then just whenever made my debut opening day, whenever my first at bat, kind of got a little standing ovation. So that was special from the Kansas City crowd, and the fans are great out there. So that was two things that are just right, that sit heavy in my heart.
That's awesome. The last question, Dallas isn't here, but the last question that me and Dallas always ask every guest is, and I'm very interested to hear your answer. If you could go back in time to any moment in baseball history, you can witness it live in person. It can be before you were born. It can be you're 23 now. You can go back to the 2004 final out. Any moment in baseball history, and you're sitting in the stands, best seat in the house. You're watching it live in person. What is it?
I definitely would want to watch my dad pitch, whatever it was. I know that he was one out away from a perfect game when he was with Oakland one year, and then also he had a home run at Dodger Stadium. So one of those games would be special, just to see him pitch and perform in the live, because I've seen all the stories, seen the black and white footage that he says, but yeah, definitely just to see my dad play.
That's cool. That's cool that you went with dad. I really appreciate that. All right, Bobby Witt Jr., thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you.
Well, big thanks to Bobby Witt Jr. for making the time. Special talent. Congratulations on moving into the pantheon of my top 3 favorite players in baseball right now. What's your list? Your top 3 favorite active players right now, Joe?
Shohei, Ronald Acuna Jr., Zach Greinke.
You didn't even have to think about that.
Yeah, that was easy.
That was easy.
Yeah.
Jake, who are your top 3 favorite players in baseball right now?
Rafael Devers, Brian Bayo, Justin Turner.
Okay. All right. Damn.
What's your big
Justin
3?
Turner. Justin Turner's a little banged up right now. He's got a bad wheel. I think he's dealing with a bruised bone or some shit in his heel. Can't play baseball with that. You see Judgy hit a home run the other night? I mean, the Yankees got fucking smoked, but it's actually very funny. Like, I want to say it has been every other day all week this week that the Red Sox and Yankees have flip-flopped between first place and last place. It has been the Red Sox are in last place, the Yankees are in last place. The Red Sox are in last place, the Yankees are in last place. Coming into today, the Yankees are in last place, but it's probably going to be the Red Sox by tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Yet somehow the Yankees are 10,000 times more depressing and just disappointing, and like just a complete dumpster fire. I mean, it makes sense, like the expectations going into the year against the Red Sox compared to the Red Sox, but the way they talk about the Yankees, you really would expect them to be like 30 games under 500.
It is true. I mean, like, based on what happens to that organization, it is kind of crazy. Like, it's almost like a mind fuck that the Red Sox are as close to they are in the standings as the Yankees, because it's not just about like how Yankee fans talk about the Yankees that makes it seem like it's bad. If you watch them, you're like, this team should be 10 games under 500 at least. Like the way that Luis Severino has pitched this year, the injuries that they like, losing Aaron Judge for, like, it's almost like the Mandela effect where that, like, their record without Aaron Judge, they were probably like 10-30 and somehow they still have a winning record. How?
It is.
Makes no sense. Aaron Boone gets ejected 5 times a week. Judge didn't play for 2 months. They lost almost every game where he didn't play. Josh Donaldson, he's been on the injured list. Giancarlo Stanton literally is so injured or scared to be injured that he jogs around the bases and just gets thrown out at home plate standing up. Anthony Volpe hasn't been what they thought he was going to be. DJ LeMahieu is a corpse of himself. I think he's been better over the last month, but like the overall sample is that he's been fucking awful. Anthony Rizzo had a concussion for the last 2 months, and he was statistically the worst hitter in baseball over that span. Like they have like IKF playing the outfield when he's an infielder. The whole team's like the only person that's been good is fucking Garrett Cole. Like Nestor Cortez, who is like one of their best pitchers, he's either been hurt or has sucked. Like you lay all that out, how do the Yankees have a winning record? I have no idea.
Yeah, and you don't even mention the fact that their perfect game pitcher shows up hammered, flips a freaking couch, gets in a fight, gets kicked off the team 2 weeks after a perfect game.
Yeah. Like, yes, that's one of the worst parts of it. You just go around the entire roster. They want Brian Cashman fired. They want Aaron Boone fired. They want Hal Steinbrenner out. The entire lineup from top to bottom, it's awful. They got starting pitchers that can't start games anymore because of how bad they are. They got guys being kicked off the team because they're drunk. Like, how does this team have a winning record? I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm not saying that like the Red Sox season has been all sunshine and roses because it hasn't. But at least we haven't been dealing with that. Like the most drama that we've had is like Alex Verdugo showed up late. And I maintain like my theory is that he thought it was a 7:00 game because he showed up 2 hours before, which would have been 2 p.m. Yeah, he showed up at 2 p.m. for a 4:00 game. Like he probably was just like, yeah, man, I don't know. I thought it was a 7:00 game. Sometimes I think that too. Like I've done that before. People fuck up. That's the most drama that we've had to deal with this year. But I don't know. Who do you think is gonna win the battle for fourth place?
Fourth place battle.
I mean, it's a dogfight right now.
It is. I mean, I honestly say I would probably say the Red Sox.
You think so? Yeah, we're built for fourth place.
I just like there can't be so many bad vibes like the Yankees. You know, as disappointing, it is impressive that they're still 500, but it also makes sense they have the second highest payroll in the league still, which I think people kind of forget. Because I mean, we shit on them because we're saying they're not what they used to be in terms of spending, but still the second highest payroll in the league.
Mm-hmm.
But also, it's like, who do they even have pitching now? Like Nestor, like
Garrett
Luis,
Cole.
Garrett Cole. I mean, Severino. Like, I mean, think what other teams would he still be on the roster for?
He's basically not like on the rock. Like they're not allowing him to start games anymore. Which
didn't he pitch yesterday?
Time. Didn't he come out of the bullpen?
I don't know.
That should be so. How the Red Sox? I declared the Red Sox season over because they were within 2 games of the Toronto Blue Jays in the wild card, and then they got swept by the Blue Jays. So like, I was like, all right, it's over. The Yankees went in to play the Chicago White Sox after Tim Anderson got knocked out. The drama was coming out that like the players don't show up to meetings. No one gives a fuck. The rookies are like sleeping during games. And Yasmani Grandal is bitch slapping Tim Anderson in cold tubs. And then the White Sox go in and just dominate the Yankees. Like if you can't beat, like the White Sox are bad. They're already bad. If you can't beat the White Sox when they're literally in shambles, like they are falling apart as an organization. And not only did you lose the series, but you got dildoed in that series. What was the fucking final last night? Like 9-2?
9-2.
That was the final?
Yep.
That's embarrassing. 9-2. Oh my God. That's pathetic. That's pathetic. But you know, they're the Yankees, so they're just gonna run it back. You're gonna be like, well, you know, we were in the ALCS last year. We're gonna finish in last place this year, so maybe we're somewhere in between.
That shouldn't even count.
What, the ALCS?
Yeah, the ALCS shouldn't count last year.
Well, they were there.
They had to play they beat the Guardians in a fight. Like they beat them by barely anything, and then didn't win a single game in the ALCS.
Yeah. By the way, and I know that people love Max's appearances on the podcast. Those will continue, especially as the Angels' pursuit of Shohei Ohtani and free agency rolls on this winter. You'll be hearing more from Max. But that news that Dave Portnoy has purchased 100% of Barstool Sports, I believe that means that the forbidden door is open, and there are plenty of people over there that cover a specific baseball team that now they can appear on here without any consequence. Like now, if we talk about the Orioles, dial up RDT. Come on over. We start talking about the Yankees. Well, now we can call our old friend Eric Hubbs. Maybe the Cubs are making the playoffs this year. Hey, Dan Katz, you want to talk a little Cubbies? What about if the Mets continue to be the Mets? Kevin, you care to weigh in?
I don't know if that's who we want, man.
You want Frank the Tank? Maybe. I mean, here's the thing. Frank the Tank is such a pure soul that he would have done it at any point over the last 2 years. Like if we had asked, Frank the Tank would have called in any one of these days, and he wouldn't have gotten in trouble for it because he's Frank the Tank. He's just a superstar. He plays by a different set of rules. That's just how that works. Manny Ramirez could shove the traveling secretary down the stairs because he was Manny Ramirez. If you're Domingo Germán, get fucked. Like, you can't do that if you're Domingo Germán. If you're Manny Ramirez, you're batting in the third hole tonight. That's playing left. There you go. Different set of rules. Frank the Tank is the Manny Ramirez of that roster. Not just the baseball roster, but like the whole talent roster. So yeah, that's interesting. I feel like we're going to be able to utilize that moving forward. Hopefully, that's the hope. Is there anyone over there that you'd be interested in talking baseball with?
Frank the Tank, 100%. I love that guy.
I know you love him, but like I feel like the Mets fans that listen to this podcast, I've seen on Reddit, the Baseball is Dead Reddit, some Mets fans were like, we don't want him to be the Mets fan voice. Like, we don't want to have him on the podcast representing all Mets fans. Like, some of the Mets fans were kind of upset when we alluded to having him on in the past.
Well, if the Mets fans are still listening after all the shit, I say, then they can take it.
Yeah. There's not much that they can't take. If they've sat through the last, 20 years of Mets baseball, I feel like there's not much that they can't handle at this point. And Frank the Tank, if you don't agree with his opinions, you at least know that you're getting entertainment out of it. Like, he's one of the more entertaining sports personalities, not just baseball personalities. So, yeah, we'll see. Do you want to get to some of these Twitter questions that we got? Actually, you know what? Before we get into the Twitter questions, did you see Mark McGwire on what's it called? Is Foul Territory? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Foul Territory.
Yeah,
I did see that.
I met those guys out at the All-Star game. It was cool. All right. This is Mark McGwire.
Do you feel like you're being unfairly punished, or maybe your group? Maybe I should say the group of you, not maybe singling you out as just yourself, but kind of that whole group of, again, the same people are being unfairly punished because of a bias or whatever you want to call it.
Well, it seems like it. That's what it is. I think I heard Barry say it the other day. There was no rules and there was no regulation. Believe me, trust me. If there was any rules in place and that stuff would have never happened. There was no testing. There was no nothing. So it's like, and I agree with what Barry was saying. It's like, there's like, listen, that was the culture. That was that's what was going on back in those days. And whatever. But I can personally tell you from me, knowing me, listen, I didn't need to do it. And I apologize for it. And but there was a lot of fucking hard work that went behind all the shit that people want to give me to do what I did.
All right. So there's a lot to dissect there because I agree with some stuff. I disagree with some stuff. I agree that the Big Macs of the world, the Sosas, the Bonds, they are unfairly persecuted for their steroid use, because if we had all the data, how many guys were doing it, how many players, what I want to know is how many players that are notable names took steroids that never get looped into the conversation. Because if you are to believe Jose Canseco, when I know that he's a crazy person, but he's yet to lie about the steroid stuff. Like, he's an absolute lunatic, but he has yet to lie about anything that he said about who's taking it and when they were taking it and how they were taking it, all that shit. As far as the steroid stuff goes, he's not bullshitting you. And he told you there are guys that are already in the Hall of Fame that have taken steroids, like multiple guys. So you can make your assumptions on who those players are. I think that there are definitely some names that have just never been uttered in the conversation. And I mean, it's obviously irresponsible for us to speculate. We can't just like start throwing out names in the steroid conversation if we don't have any concrete proof, or at least if there's rumors or something. Like, nothing. I think that there are players that aren't even rumored to be linked to steroids during the steroid era that took steroids. Fair or unfair, Joseph?
Fair.
Okay. So to that point that Big Mac makes, like, we're unfairly persecuted for all this. I agree. When he says, I didn't need him, yes, you did. Like, yes, you did. Like,
Definitely helped.
Definitely helped. That is something that I disagree with. You know, I think, does Mark McGwire summon the spirit of Roger Maris Jr. without steroids? I don't think he does. Does he have a good, nice major league career without steroids? Yeah, sure. You can make the argument that Mark McGwire is still a fine major leaguer, a good hitter, got some pop, no doubt. Like, you could make the case for that across the board. Does he break the single season home run record without steroids? No, I don't think he does. But the other thing that I do agree with is when he says, like, you know, people don't see the hard work that goes into it and yada, yada, yada. That's also true. I feel like if you are not someone that exercises or are familiar with like the whole steroid culture, I think that there is this idea that you just stick a needle in your ass and then you look like the Incredible Hulk. Like, you still have to go fucking crazy in the gym while you're on steroids to build a physique or build up the strength that you need to be able to hit all those home runs. Like, so yeah, like it is taking a shortcut. And it's not even necessarily a shortcut, because a shortcut would imply that you're going down a path that is attainable. Steroids isn't taking a shortcut. It's building a bridge. Like, if you're on steroids, you are reaching a physique. You are reaching a level of strength that would not otherwise be attainable without them. So it's not even taking a shortcut. That's why it's cheating. Because there is, like, the argument about steroids and like the Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosas of the world, like, they took steroids to gain muscle mass, to gain strength, to hit home runs, to make more money, to win, whatever the motivation is, fame, all that stuff. But then there are the athletes out there that take steroids just to recover. They're not going to have these Hulk Hogan looking physiques. It's not going to be as obvious that they're taking something. And it's because you're playing baseball, 162 game season. You're playing every day. Sometimes it's 10 straight days. Sometimes you're playing 30 games in 31 days. Like, that happens as well. The performance enhancing drugs are going to help you recover. And as an entertainer, like the Alex Rodriguez's of the world, who said, and he was lying, but he was like, yeah, like, I felt the pressure of signing the biggest contract in sports history. And I wanted to perform. I wanted to be out there, and I wanted to be out there every day, and, it helps you recover and this and that. Okay. If anyone else said that, like, there's some validity to it, but it's A-Rod. And I think Jose Canseco was saying that he was on steroids since high school. So, like, I don't necessarily believe that A-Rod started taking steroids when he got to Texas. I digress. Yeah, just, it was an interesting little tidbit from Mark McGwire there, because I'm sure it does bother him that people think that everything that he did meant nothing. Like that's gonna suck. But you can't sit there and say I didn't need it. Yeah, you did. Like to do exactly what you did. Yes, you did. To be a good major leaguer, no, I don't think that you needed steroids to be a good major league hitter. But to hit as many home runs as you did, yes, you did need them.
Definitely. He would never have broken that without steroids. Which is that's the fucked up part about it. It's like the reason he definitely gets a lot more shit than other guys who took steroids, but it kind of makes sense because it's like, well, you got the most benefit from them. You know, like you are the guy who hit 70 fucking thousand home runs in a year. So I guess at the same time, a lot of guys took steroids and didn't come close to hitting that many home runs. It also doesn't help that you looked like a fucking Incredible Hulk and had arms that are bigger than Spencer Strider's thighs. So is that genetics? Is that just steroids? Who knows? He's also one of those guys who I'm pretty sure he was pretty early on roids. I'm pretty sure he was taking them since day one of his major league career. He's not like a Sammy Sosa where it was like you had kind of that reference point, like Sammy Sosa without steroids was shit. Like he had a solid like 5-6 years in Major League Baseball where you could tell like a skinny, like could look completely different and was not good. Bulked up and became, hit 70 did he hit 70? 60 what?
No, he hit. All right. So Roger Maris hit 61 home runs in 1960. 61. He hit 61 home runs in 1961. Sammy Sosa in a 4-year span, after no one had come close to Roger Maris's 61 home runs, Sammy Sosa hit 66 home runs in 1998. He hit 63 home runs in 1999, and then he hit 64 home runs in 2001. So he passed Roger Maris 3 times in 4 years.
Yeah. So like that's the thing with steroids is like how much they help. Some people say, it's just recovery. You still got to hit the ball, but then you get like, you have Sammy Sosa and you can see that there was such a crazy amount of extra homers that happened when you could tell he was doing steroids. So who's the fuck to say, man? Another thing, Chipper Jones never took him. Mm-hmm. So I'll say not everybody was doing it. The real GOAT, Chipper Jones, didn't take him.
Over the first 9 seasons of Sammy Sosa's career, so through his age 28 season, he averaged 23 home runs. He hit 257 with a 777 OPS, averaging 18 doubles and 23 home runs and 71 RBI. That's over his first 1,088 big league games. And then, let's see, from 1998 to 2003, his age 29 to 34 seasons. That's 6 years. His next 924 games, he hit 302 with a 1027 OPS, averaging 55 home runs, 26 doubles, and 135 RBI. And he was playing every day. He was averaging 154 games over a 6-year span.
And like the type of steroids they were doing back then is nothing like this type of stuff that the players getting caught for now. Or like that stuff was like
they were taking like Russian bodybuilder steroids back then.
Yeah, like just straight up like just bulking shit that like would pop. Any test would pop no matter what. If you took it today, you couldn't even come close to getting away with it. So like the amount of advantages they were getting compared to like what Tatis, for example, was alleged to taking, it's like not even close.
Yeah. Like a lot of the steroids that I think the athletes get popped for now is for what I was talking about. Like it's for like recovery. They're not taking these like bodybuilder steroids to get huge, massive forearms to just blast homers everywhere. It's like,
the way I think of it, it's like the advantage in my head. I never did steroids. Obviously, look at me, you know what I'm saying? But like, I think about like me trying to swing a baseball bat, right? I got a good swing. You know what I'm saying? I'm stronger than I'm stronger than I look, dude. I could, but like, imagine me with a wiffle ball bat, but that bat had the same freaking density as a wooden bat. I could probably be like a fucking good ass fucking baseball player. I'm not gonna say be in the major leagues, but I probably would be.
I can't deny that.
Like imagine going to the plate with a wiffle ball bat, but that shit was just wood. And that's what it felt like.
Yeah. I mean, there were dudes like at the MLB Combine when I was there in Phoenix before the draft, and there were these tall, lanky ass motherfuckers, like 17 years old, and their arms looked like shoelaces, and they were whacking the fuck out of the ball. And I was like looking up, and it's like 118 mile per hour exit velocity. So it's like you don't need to be this huge bulked up dude to be able to hit home runs. Most of them aren't. Like if you're ever like a Major League Baseball reporter and you go into a big league clubhouse and you see some of these guys walk out of the shower in their towels, you're like, these guys are the best athletes in the world? What? Some of them look like just fucking bags of milk. It's honestly incredible how some of them are able to just like launch home runs and throw 98 miles an hour. Like so baseball is home to some of the most unimpressive physiques in professional sports.
It's a very strange skill set. Like I don't know how you become good at swinging a bat. Like there are jacked people, like really bodybuilder guys who have like probably give them a bat, can't really swing it that fast. And you get like a Tatis who's like skinny arms and it's just half speed hitting bombs.
Yeah. It is crazy.
Strong hands.
I don't know how it works. Like you would think that like a guy like Tyler O'Neill would lead the league in home runs. Gabe Kapler had the ugliest swing ever. He just like it was terrible. But he was the jackedest dude in the league. And yeah. I don't know. Baseball is a weird sport, man. I don't know how else to explain it, but Blue Moon is the best beer in the game. I can tell you that right now. The playoffs, they're just around the corner. So it's time to help your team out by sticking to your lucky rituals, like the ritual of enjoying an ice-cold Blue Moon while the game is on. Blue Moon was born in a ballpark, first brewed at Coors Field in Denver, Colorado. Make it your one-of-a-kind tradition, whether you're at the park or watching from home. Joe, you drinking any Blue Moons this weekend?
This weekend? Yeah. I mean, every weekend, brother.
Yeah, I feel but you're on a beach this weekend? Or?
Yeah, yes, I am. I'm at the beach. So this might be a special weekend. I might even get the oranges shipped in.
Wow. That's crazy. Big time coriander guy on the beach with its refreshing flavor with a Valencia orange peel for a subtle sweetness and hints of coriander. Blue Moon Belgian style wheat ale is a one-of-a-kind beer that's made brighter. It's carefully crafted and full flavored with refreshing notes and a smooth, creamy finish. Blue Moon was brewed by baseball to give you a dose of nostalgia and get you excited for the new season. Why strike out with the same old beer when you can get something that's one of a kind? Its bold flavor, bright explosion of color, and iconic orange slice ritual guarantees a one-of-a-kind beer experience. Perfect for spring weather. Best served with its signature orange garnish to showcase its beautiful bright color. A beer this good only comes around once in a blue moon, but you can enjoy it all season long. Brighten up your baseball traditions with Blue Moon Belgian style wheat ale. It's a one-of-a-kind every time. Check out shop.bluemoonbrewingcompany.com for baseball merch and visit get.bluemoonbeer.com/rocket to find Blue Moon delivery options. That is get.bluemoonbeer.com/rocket. Blue Moon, made brighter. Celebrate responsibly. Blue Moon Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado ale. All right, you want to get to some of those Twitter questions? Yeah, it's a podcast. You have to verbally say yes.
Yeah. Depends what the question is, honestly, but let's see where this goes.
Okay. Need more Luis Severino slander, in my opinion. Bring up how hitters against him this year are putting up a slash line that's extremely close to Miggy's Triple Crown season. I feel like we slandered Luis Severino a little bit here, no?
A little bit, but it's also kind of, why kick a man while he's down? Right?
Yeah.
It's like,
he was a nice guy. I met him at the All-Star game in 2018. Nice guy.
It's not a guy who I really feel like I want to dunk on because he was a freaking beast.
Yeah.
And then
this is from Stuart Carruthers. He says, Which players from bad teams deserve some love? Guys that aren't getting enough shine and that fans need to know about.
Bobby
It's
Witt
an
Jr.
interesting question.
That's number one.
Bobby Witt Jr. Yep, we gave him some love today on the podcast. Bobby Witt, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, has the same sprint speed as Ellie De La Cruz.
There you go.
Did you know that?
I didn't know that. That's what I'm saying. Gets no love.
Gets no love.
How am I supposed to know? No
Luis
one tells
Robert?
me.
You think Luis Robert could get some MVP votes?
I'd have to look at the numbers. Isn't being on a competitor one of those things they like to look at? But you're right. I mean, talk about a guy who's getting overshadowed by just being on it. It's not that he's on a bad team. It's that he's on the most embarrassing team. Like, he's the best player on the team by far, but still is not even close to being the main storyline just because they're that bad.
Yeah. I feel like even Vincenzo Gourmand is not getting enough love this year. He's got an 825 OPS.
There you go. I haven't been keeping up. I mean,
Right?
when was the last time we talked about the freaking Cardinals?
It's been probably since like they were a dumpster fire, I guess.
Yeah, they got overshadowed by other bigger dumpster fires, but they've continued to be a big dumpster fire.
Yeah. What about Lane Thomas on the Nats?
There you go.
Lane Thomas. He's in 284 this year. He's got a 487 slugging percentage. Everyone wants to talk about the rookies going on in the league right now. Josh Young has a 489 slug. Tristan Casas has a 483 slug. Guess who's right between them? Lane Thomas of the Washington Nationals, who just got no hit last night.
Yeah, and even when you talk about the Nationals, when no one really talks about the Nationals, but if you were to talk, when people do talk about the Nationals, they talk about, wow, he's young. This is a young team. Hey, Mackenzie Gores could be something. Wow. Hey, look at Josiah Gray. Hey, what if CJ Abrams turns into something massive? But Lane Thomas, just a guy brings his lunch pail to work, dude. Just a freaking white guy.
He just brings his lunch pail to work, dude.
Just one of those white guys, boring, Southern kid, comes up, country music. I guess he's 27, which might be why people aren't as hyped. On the future as much, but he's their best hitter.
He's their best hitter. What about Ryan McMahon?
I haven't been keeping up with him, but
Ryan McMahon having a year for the Colorado Rockies that no one's talking about. I think he's having it would be a career high in OPS. He's in 254, a 339 on base with an 808 OPS. Dude's got 24 home runs. No, excuse me. He's got 24 doubles and 19 homers with, I don't know, a little less than 2 months to go. So he's probably going to hit some career highs this year. Ryan McMahon.
Ryan McMahon. That is, that is the guy that no one talks about for sure.
No one talks about Ryan McMahon.
Is it the Coors effect?
Maybe. It could be. Let's see some splits here. What's he hitting at home? Probably like fucking 345.
Oh, I've just stumbled across a discovery.
What's that?
I don't want to just brush by Mr. McMahon because he is the man of Colorado.
What is it?
But does the name Tachin ring a bell?
Tachin?
Tachin? The Japanese king of Lars Newbar has a fucking WRC plus of 130. I thought he was shit this year. What happened? He's actually good.
Okay.
I thought all this hype goes to Japan, comes back, Mr. Famous guy, Japan taking selfies. No, it comes back to America. He's not even good anymore. Actually, I think you'd be surprised. Look at his numbers. 130 WRC plus. That surprises me.
Wow.
I'd like to hear that.
How many games played?
84, which is more than some other guys.
It's a little low, but I mean, it's not nothing. Wow. So why aren't the Cardinals better? It looks like they've got a lot of good players. Riddle me that, Joseph.
You lagged out. I had no idea what you said.
I said, "Why? If the Cardinals have so many good players, why aren't they better?"
Because they have no pitchers. And this is what I was trying to tell them last year, and they kept giving me crap because they're like, we're going to get Soto. And I said, no, you don't want Soto. Everyone wants Soto. But you guys, I mean, Miles Mikolas is their guy right now.
Yeah.
Steven Matz is actually the one leading with the ERA categories. And then you had Jordan Montgomery. He's gone. Flaherty, he's gone. So, it's pretty easy to tell what's going on with the Cardinals. They're starting pitching.
You know that? Why is no one talking about the fact that J.P. Crawford has the same weighted runs created plus as J.D. Martinez?
I don't know if that was the best comparison because JD's also a guy who goes a little bit under the radar, but yeah.
JD Martinez does not go under the radar. He's like makes the fucking all-star team every year for being one of the best hitters in the league.
I would say probably you being in Boston all the time probably, gives you a kind of like more, but I don't think people talk about JD Martinez for the first like half of the year was like a top 5 hitter.
Yeah.
I think he's regressed a little bit, but when you think
he's old.
Yeah. But still, I mean, he was having one of his best seasons through at least the first half.
Yeah.
Killing it. I think he would also be a guy you could put on this list of a little bit underrated. But J.P. Crawford for sure. And he's just
J.P. Crawford, yeah. I mean, if you look at the weighted runs created plus, they're equal, but J.P. Crawford walks more and strikes out way less than J.D. Martinez.
Yeah. See, but that's such a surprise because you really wouldn't think of J.D. Crawford as like the offensive pop. I mean, he leads the Mariners at WAR.
There you go.
And even with the Mariners, we talked about it yesterday. They have like 3 of the best pitchers in the league. Still,
they do.
According to WAR, not as good as Mr. Crawford.
Yeah. Josh Naylor, another guy that definitely doesn't get enough love, should have been an all-star this year, in my opinion. Josh Naylor, same weighted runs created plus as Randy Arozarena and Masataka Yoshida. Do you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, put some respect on Josh Naylor's name. Feel like you're missing the boat if you don't respect Josh Naylor this season.
And you should. That's a guy you got to root for. He is a complete maniac.
Mm-hmm.
He comes to play. He comes to rage.
Yeah.
That guy.
O's and Hose asked, if you and Joe could do any other 2 jobs in the world, what would they be? Curious to see what other interests or passions y'all have. What would your job be, Joseph?
I would say professional baseball player, but that wouldn't.
But I don't think that qualifies.
I don't know, man. Maybe I would be a surfer.
A surfer?
I never surfed before, but that'd be cool. I would be in a band, dude. I would want to be in a band.
How do you? All right, so hold on. You would be a surfer, but you've never surfed, so you don't even know if that's a passion of yours. And you would be in a band, but I'm going to just go out on a limb here and say that you don't have any musical talent.
No, never played an instrument, but imagine being in a band.
It's tough to be in a band.
Yeah, but imagine if you were.
I think that you're interpreting this as like if there was a magical genie and I had a wish that I could become anything, then that's what I would do. But like, what could you actually do with your skill set right now?
Dude, literally nothing.
Like I thought you were gonna say, dude, literally anything. Nothing. What was? Did you go to college? Do you have a degree?
Yeah, I have a degree in communications and specified in journalism. Kind of what I'm doing in a way.
Yeah, you're basically self-employed in that regard. Yeah.
But in terms of my day-to-day life, what I do in terms of passions, like this is kind of what I do every day, all the time. Oh, you know what I do? I fucking be Lance Armstrong on the bike.
What?
Because I do ride my bike. I've been hitting long distances.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty sick. I need to get the gear. I don't even have the shoes. I don't have the freaking spandex. I don't even have a helmet. That's the kind of guy I am. I don't give a fuck. But if you put me on the tour, got me some EPO, I know that would be. But that would also be kind of shit, like just biking all the time. You'd be tired.
It'd be terrible. You don't sound passionate about it at all. That was the whole fucking question. What are you passionate about that you could make money off of?
That's what
not even make. I mean, not even for the money. Like, what would be your passion project? Because mine would be. I've always wanted to write a horror movie. I've always wanted to do that, and I will do that eventually. I don't know. It's just I know I'm afraid. I'm afraid to write book number 2, and I'm afraid to write a horror movie because I know how active my normal hours are. And when I wrote my first book, I wrote from midnight until 8:30 in the morning. And then I would sleep all day and then go to work at 4 p.m. And it was just a very unhealthy year and a half. And I don't want to go back into that cycle. That's the only thing that's holding me back from doing it, is because I can't like focus unless I'm writing while the world is sleeping. And that's not a lifestyle that I want to jump right back into.
Brother, move to the woods.
It's not even like that. It's just like my current job and my fucking phone and the people that will reach out all the time.
That's
I'd
a
have
problem.
to put my phone on airplane mode.
I'm guessing the first book, Twitter wasn't around as much.
Definitely not as much, no. But I mean, we still sold out. Like it was MySpace was around, and I had like 150,000 on MySpace.
How many books did you sell?
The first run was 1,000 books, and then it was print on demand after that.
How much money did you make from your book?
So it was self-published. So I think it was like we sold them for 15. It was 20 if you wanted the book and the poster, and it cost me $4 a book. So like not a ton of money, but I mean, I saw a lot of money for being fucking 19 years old. Yeah.
Well, you just did some math that I just didn't follow. So like, I just need to know how much money you think you made.
All right, let's see. Let's call it 20 grand. 20 grand. So probably like call it 15 grand.
There you go. That's not bad.
For the first run.
Hey, dude, they're probably going to turn that shit into a movie, dude.
Nah, I doubt it.
They stole it already, made Fever Pitch, but hey.
That's true. They were premature. They jumped the gun on that.
Hey, they owe you something. I don't know if we should get. You know, there's a YouTuber called Dodger Films. He's like the OG, one of the OG baseball YouTubers, like before anybody. And he would just go go to baseball games with a camera and film himself catching home runs. Right? He'd be in the outfield, season tickets, left field, right? And Manny Wood, remember Manny Wood, like that section, and he would catch, film himself like a Zach Campbell, but people liked him. He was Zach Campbell, but likable. Yeah, but instead of someone filming him, following him, he had it in his right hand, camera in his right hand, glove in his left hand, and you would film the batter, catch it, and you could get the whole angle. It was sick. You go all the games, and MLB took his ass down, said you can't bring your camera to the games, and he evolved, and he's still a massive YouTuber. He does like softball shit, but before YouTube, he wrote a like graphic novel about like some like girly thing, like something kind of weird. It was like, what the fuck? Why?
Something kind of weird.
So he becomes Dodger Films, successful YouTuber, still raking in views. Like 2 years ago, freaking they bought it, and Owen Wilson and Jennifer Lopez starred in a movie about this, which I don't think anyone watched, but come on, Jennifer Lopez, Owen Wilson, big Hollywood flick. They bought Dodger Films, baseball YouTubers, graphic novel from like 20 years ago, made a movie out of it.
What was the movie called?
I have no fucking idea. Oh, but nobody watched it.
Yeah, maybe. I feel like if I wrote, I've said this before, if I wrote book number 2, I would rewrite the first book and then continue past where it ended. Because if it ever were to be some sort of like movie, Coley was like, I'm going to write a script on your life and just change all the names and characters so that I don't have to give you a cut. But he's like, your life in and of itself should be a movie.
The evolution of a little dorky Jared at the Red Sox games with his headphones on, listening to the radio and keeping score.
Yeah.
And turning into the big bad baseball personality. tattoos.
And just for the stuff that never even made it out there. The behind the scenes.
Well,
the juicy stuff.
Give us the juiciest thing you got for a sneak peek.
I can't.
Well, you're gonna have a tough time writing in a fucking piece of paper if you can't say it.
Yeah, I think what is it? All right, let's put it this way. You know the girl Brianna Chicken Fry?
Yeah,
she's dating the country singer now.
Yeah.
I was watching a clip where Glenny Balls was like, he was like, "Is this the first ever celebrity couple that we've had at the company?" The answer to that question is no. People just didn't know about it. Mm-hmm.
Olivia Rodrigo. Was it Olivia Rodrigo?
It was Celine Dion. Celine Dion.
Charlie D'Amelio?
No, dude. The fuck? From Woogie. Is the third wild card bad for baseball? It seems like all you have to do is be a 500 team and you can have a real playoff expectation. Joe?
Talking to me. I think
you're the only person here.
I mean, hey, I thought you might want to answer it. I know you're a guy who has takes, you know.
I mean, my take is that it's not bad for baseball. It's bad for the trade deadline. Yeah. Because everyone fucking thinks that they're in it. So the teams that should be selling, like they get fake confidence and they go for it, or they do nothing to stay in it. They don't sell a period. And I think it kind of fucks with the trade deadline. Yeah.
Do you think this was a bad trade deadline?
Yes and no.
Yeah, how would you, Ray, give it a grade?
Like a B-, I guess. Like you still got Verlander and Scherzer. Like I think it's like the names that you expected to move pretty much moved outside of like maybe a handful of guys, like the Cubs guys, Shohei. Like it could have been star-studded, right? But it wasn't, because the Angels decided to go for it, and the Cubs decided to go for it. So yeah, there could have been more names that went. Like the only way that was going to be an A is if like Shohei got traded, right? Like who the fuck else was going to be a big name that went that people would have given a shit about?
Yeah, and then you think if there was 2 wildcard teams, Shohei got traded? I mean, I think there's a pretty good chance he would have. If there was just 2 wildcard teams.
You think he would have gotten traded if there was 2 wildcard teams?
I think there's a good chance. I think there's a good chance Shohei would have got traded if the Angels didn't sweep the Yankees that one series. Like I think the Angels are way closer to trading Shohei than people realized.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of got hot at the right time and didn't trade him.
Yeah,
but I think the extra wild, and in the eyes of MLB, the extra wild card is doing everything they want it to do. I think it's going to lead to more attendance, obviously more money in terms of playoffs and that kind of pizzazz. For the trade deadline itself, I think you're right. It will affect it. But it's going to make it goes both ways. Like more teams are going to try to compete. You know, like the Cubs this year wouldn't have been trying to compete if it wasn't for the extra wild card team.
100%.
Angels wouldn't. So, and I think more playoff teams are great. I think this is a good number. If they put more, it would kind of suck, but.
Yeah. Best food you guys have had at any MLB stadium? I already know what mine is.
Yeah, I gotta think.
Not counting like the fancy stuff. Like I'm talking just the stadium food that anyone can get. You don't need like the fancy seats. The grub tub at Yankee Stadium. The grub tub at Yankee Stadium. It's like a giant fucking bucket of soda. And then the lid to the soda is like a circular tray of chicken tenders. And the straw to the soda is in the middle of the tray of chicken tenders. It's fucking awesome. And they're good. Like Yankee Stadium has the best chicken tenders of any ballpark that I've ever been to.
Why don't I get one of those shipped out to you?
I mean, I haven't been to Yankee Stadium in quite some time. Like I want to go back.
Well, what about the worst?
Fenway.
The worst food, worst tenders. I'm assuming that's the only thing you get. That's the only thing you get, tenders.
Well, now I get lobster rolls, but I would try to get the chicken tenders at Fenway, and they were fucking awful. And then they quote unquote upgraded them, and those are awful too. Like they're just not good. So
I'm the same way, bro. When I go to games, I get a lot of like, I usually just get like kind of like the bullshit quick shit, like hot dogs and stuff. I would say the best one for me is like the Nats games. They got the chili dogs, the Ben's Chili Bowl half smoke. They look terrible. Like you buy one, they look so shit. Like the chili and cheese on it looks so gross, and you're like, ew. But the dog itself is charred perfectly. Worst one, I went to the Orioles game, and I had a couple dogs there. They were terrible. They were cold. But
Dodger dog is fucking horrendous. The Dodger dog is an abomination. I don't know. Like during the World Series, like I had a Dodger dog for dinner every night, and I want to kill myself. It was so bad.
Yeah, I got at the All-Star game, I had Dodger dog, and I remember going there as a kid and remember Dodger dogs being completely different. Like I remember Dodger dogs being like kind of like skinny, longer, and they were like charred. They were like almost black, you know? When I got one, I don't know what was going on. Maybe they just didn't have enough because it was like an All-Star game, but it was just a regular ass hot dog.
No. Jake, what's the best ballpark food?
I just like a classic Fenway Frank. Yeah. I feel like it's no different than like any other hot dog, but when you're in Fenway, it just hits different.
I would say it is different. Like a Fenway Frank is just, it's clean. Like it's how a hot dog should taste. Like you go to like your friend's barbecue and like, oh, you want a hot dog? And you have, and you're like, this is really good. And it's like, it's not. You go to Fenway Park, you get a Fenway Frank, you're going to get like, this is how God intended hot dogs to be. That's a Fenway Frank. Jeff asks, do you think Dallas returns his shopping cart after loading the groceries into his car?
Yes, 100%.
I don't know if that's true. I think it depends. I think it depends. If he's in a good mood, yes. If he's in a bad mood, no, I don't think he does. I think it largely depends on what kind of mood he's in.
I could see him. I don't know. I haven't spent a ton of time around Dallas, but I can't imagine him kind of getting in a little bit of squabbles. Like just going around getting into squabbles. Like, what the fuck? And then not returning it. Getting him on a bad day.
Yeah. Like if the person at the cash register even showed him the slightest bit of disrespect, like that carriage is ending up in a fucking river somewhere.
I can also see him seeing someone else not return their shopping cart, get pissed, and either call their ass out, or if they're not there, him returning his and theirs at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's possible. This one is for Broseph. The Braves' entire lineup is posting career numbers. Is it just a crazy coincidence or the next great cheating scandal?
Yeah, the Braves are definitely cheating. I don't see why that's a bad thing. It's awesome. They have the best record in the league. Why? Who cares? It's awesome. They are cheating.
Yeah. Pat asks, if you were in a clubhouse with bad vibes, how would you try to change the juju? My personal favorite is Brad Miller bringing the bamboo plant to stop a Phillies losing streak.
Bad vibes?
Yeah, how would you switch up the bad vibes, Joe?
I don't know, probably play a prank.
Oh, a little prank?
Yeah, just a nice little prank, you know?
Yeah. Could you imagine trying to play a prank on Dallas when he was angry? Like the A's are 24-97. Dallas has a 6.57 ERA. He just gave up 9 earned runs to the Detroit Tigers. And Joey's like, oh, got your nose.
I'm just trying to get the juju back, man.
Yeah. I don't know that I'm that guy. I'm probably great for when the vibes are high. But when the vibes are low, I'm just finding a corner to hide in. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to stay out of everyone else's way. I think.
Jared would be the most diabolic motherfucker. Once thing goes wrong, it's just you're the type of guy just start talking shit about everybody else. Find your clique and being like, bro, this guy sucks ass at hitting, man. Why is he getting paid this much?
Yeah,
this manager sucks.
Yeah, pretty much. That's how that would go.
Me, I'm the glue. You're
the glue guy.
Nice, harmless pranks. Maybe you put a hey. Here's a good one: hot glue, or glue, and you put it on someone's bat handle, so they go take batting practice, and then my hands are stuck.
Classic.
Yeah.
Classic glue prank.
I just thought of that off the top of my head, guys.
Damn.
I could do this for days.
Adam wants to know if you could have a beer with 5 MLB players, past or present, who would they be?
Babe Ruth.
Why?
Because the guy is known for killing fucking beers. So I want to see.
He's known for killing women too.
Well, isn't that not interesting? Don't you want to have a beer with him asking?
Not interesting.
Get him hammered. You do it, babe, or not? Yeah, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not even the type of guy to judge.
Babe Ruth has no idea what YouTube is. So like, there's no technology. Like, you have a beer with Babe Ruth, and he just like tells you that he killed his wife, and you're just recording it on your cell phone, and he has no idea what a cell phone is.
Your shit will go viral. But I'm not even, I might post it, I might not. I just want to hear it from the horse's mouth. He's a legendary guy. He was a big guy. I want to see his physique too. Like, how big was he? They say people have gotten bigger over the years. He looks kind of big on camera. I want to see the Babe alive in person.
No, he's fat. All right, that's one.
Another one. I go Grank.
Granky? Yeah, that's a good one. Get him drinking and see like what type of bizarre shit he says.
Yeah, Granky. I hate to say this, but like I like Shohei. Like, hanging out with Shohei, he wouldn't drink. I'm gonna say he's gonna drink, but I don't think
he would drink either.
But that's the thing. It's like, if you get Shohei, you get a package deal. That means you get Ippei. So it's like a 2-for-1.
That's true.
It's kind of smart.
I think I would pick Tommy Lasorda. Mickey Mantle.
Yeah.
I want to know about that fucking blowjob under the bleachers. He's probably got some great stories. Who's got the best stories, you think? Like, I wouldn't want to have a beer with Jeter. I feel like he would be so boring.
Yeah.
He wouldn't say shit. Like, he wouldn't be one of the boys. He would just be super professional.
Yeah, Jeter would not. I feel like Jeter would probably be so fucking bored and not interested in anything you had to say, dude.
We're speaking 2 different languages. He's just in a completely different universe than the common man.
Too cool for school.
Yeah, he's too cool for school. I mean, I would want to talk. Like, there's some guys that I would pick for their outlandish stories, but I think the most interesting person to talk hitting with would be Tony Gwynn.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. Like, I don't really give up. Like, do I really want to talk hitting with the guy? Like, when am I going to use that shit? I'm not going to hit. Give me Doc Ellis. Like, Doc Ellis would be actually number 1. I'd be like, bro, be honest. Did you do it? Because
did you do it?
I kind of think you might be lying. Did you throw up a game on acid or not?
Bob Gibson. Just to hear how fucking angry he is about everything. Bob Gibson would be a good one. I mean, who has the best stories? Who would have the best stories?
Dusty Baker.
Dusty Baker's probably got stories. Barry,
I
feel like you could get going. Of course, fucking Matt Olson hits a home run today when I had him in my parlay yesterday. Motherfucker.
Not surprised.
Yeah. Jake, what 5 MLB players are you getting a beer with?
I'd like to get just a mix of the 04 Yankees and Red Sox together.
Oh,
just talk it out.
To talk it out. Yeah, just get them drunk and talking shit to each other.
I mean, Manny Ramirez would be like that's an obvious one. Get Manny Ramirez going.
No, he's like a big time God guy now. I don't think that if you got Manny out for drinks, I don't think he's talking baseball. I don't think he's saying anything crazy baseball wise.
One can only hope.
One can only hope, but
I feel like he's still got to be kind of a goofball.
Yeah,
I've seen some recent interviews with him, and I think it was Ortiz when I made the video about him. He still seemed like a goofball.
Yeah, that's still in there somewhere, but Where? None of these are good. For Joe. Come playoff time, will the Braves regret not getting another starter at the deadline?
Come playoff time?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if they lose, they probably. I think the Braves have plenty of pitching, especially compared to other teams. I mean, and they have options. I mean, Max Fried come back. They still don't have Kyle Wright back. Obviously, got Strider and Morton. That's just 4 guys right there. Not to mention, guys like Elder. So if anything, I would say the bullpen would be more of a concern than the starters. I don't see the starters really being the biggest problem, unless someone gets hurt. Charlie Morton's old. If he slows down, if Kyle Wright has a setback, doesn't come back, I think what it's shaping up to be right now for the Braves, I think they are. I mean, who has a better rotation going into the playoffs than the Braves?
Who has a better rotation going into the playoffs?
Yeah.
I mean, if the Mariners make it, I like their rotation a lot. If they make it, they've won 7 straight. It's not Tampa anymore. Maybe Houston.
So Houston. Yeah, probably Houston. But then there you go. So if there's one team with a better rotation than the Braves going into the playoffs, and even with Houston, man, they have injuries. I mean, you're looking at, I guess, hey, Fromber, Christian Javier.
Do the Dodgers get Walker Buehler back in time to contribute?
They're saying that
I like the Blue Jays rotation too.
Okay, but see, I even might put the Braves ahead of the Astros. I mean, it's hard to say. It depends what you get with Verlander. But like you said, us trying to come up with better rotations than the Braves going into the playoffs.
There's not one that's definitively better. No.
Yeah. So if the question is, are they going to regret not adding another pitcher? Well, if they lose, they're probably maybe. But right now, that doesn't really seem to be their biggest weakness. That would probably be the bullpen. And even that, I mean, you could say that about most teams.
Yeah. Fair. All right, guys. We're in the heat of the summer. You need a pair of great shades that you don't have to baby. Knockaround Sunglasses is the go-to for quality polarized shades that won't break the bank. Plus, they just released the first set of teams of their official MLB collection, including the Red Sox and Yankees, as well as official U.S. women's soccer team sunglasses. So you can add a little extra something to your game day outfit for this summer's big matches. Don't be the person that's squinting into the sun or worried about getting sand on their overpriced sunglasses. Check out knockaround.com for great looking polarized shades starting at just $28. Use a promo code ROCKET for free shipping on your order. Jake, how are we feeling about the Red Sox tonight? You've got James Paxton on the mound. in the series finale against Austin Cox. It is James Paxton versus Austin Cox for all the marbles. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to want to win this one. It's been a tough stretch, obviously, getting swept by the Blue Jays. But if you can come back with 3 out of 4 against the Royals, probably a lot of people wanted all 4, but still a Major League Ball club. It's tough to win 4 straight. So I think, if you win tonight, 3 out of 4 is a good way to get back on track.
Don't let us win tonight.
Don't let us win tonight. You afraid of Cox, Jake?
Nah, no. I can handle him.
We can handle the Cox. He's going to be out there with a respectable 3.58 ERA going up against James Paxton. And when this one's over, we're going to be telling Cox to just fucking
suck on it.
Suck on it. It's going to be a big win for the Red Sox. 3 out of 4. Now we go. For 4th place champs. I think we have a parade for 4th place champs. All right. Any this slate tonight sucks, by the way. I'm pissed that the Red Sox are playing. This would have been a perfect off night to just watch a documentary or something. You get Dodgers, Rockies, Nats, Phillies, Rays, Cardinals, Tigers, Twins, Jays, Guards, and then the Braves and Pirates are playing right now. The Astros and Orioles are playing right now, which has been a fun series, Astros, Orioles. I know the Astros pulled ahead late last night, and it doesn't look to be that even when you look at the box score, but it's been a pretty fun series between those 2 teams. So lame-ass slate tonight. This weekend, who do we got? Anything exciting? Cubs, Blue Jays should be good. Astros, Angels, okay. Padres, Diamondbacks, fine, maybe. Orioles, Mariners. That's probably the one that I'm going to circle. That's like back-to-back premier series for the Orioles. Orioles, Mariners, and then even I'll throw in Texas Rangers, San Francisco Giants. That'll be cool too. All right, so a couple of premier series that we're going to be focused on this upcoming weekend. Joseph, any final thoughts?
No. Matt Olson just tied Shohei for the league a leading home run hitter.
How many?
That's 40, I think. Either 40 or 41, maybe.
40.
All you need to know that is he's in motherfucking first place, as are the Braves.
Yeah.
And it sucks for Shohei because they will not throw Shohei a pitch. I mean, I haven't looked at the numbers. Shohei is probably averaging 3 walks a game since Mike Trout got hurt.
Yeah, that makes sense. Jake's takes?
It's another classic Jared and Joey episode. I think people are going to love it.
Yeah. We've done like Jared and Joe segments where like Dallas wasn't there, Jay had to leave early or something like that. But I don't think we've ever done a full Jared and Joe podcast, no?
The one I can remember is after the Yankees got eliminated last year in the ALCS, and you guys talked about Judgy in the hotel room.
Okay. Dallas wasn't there for that?
He was in and out.
Yeah, I think he left halfway through.
He was in Hawaii.
Okay. Oh, yeah, he was in Hawaii. Yeah, the classic fucking playoff vacation. Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of irresponsible. What if the A's made it that year?
I know, that's what I'm saying. I mean, that just goes to show you that he had no faith in his own team.
Sad.
Planning a vacation in the middle of the playoffs. But who knows? Maybe it's Oakland's year next year. All right. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We will be back on Monday with more Baseball is Dead. Enjoy your weekend of baseball, and we'll see you on the other side.
We got